Hello everyone, Firemac here, and welcome back to the Shadowbringers New Game Plus Story Recap Streams for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Firemac. And we're nearing the end of base Shadowbringers. We've got a few more quests before we do the final dungeon. A greater purpose, Alphino, is awaiting the return of your other companions. We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully, then our next move will become clear. To it seem our conversations were much alike, a looming disaster, creation magic running rampant in this convocation's efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was a talk of a little else in the time when these events came to pass. Uranje, if I may, what are your thoughts on the Ancients' art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. Aught the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. 'Tis not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony breatheth life onto figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seemed they paid the cost of not more than a fraction of the ether which coursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies, and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals mayhap, or from the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Emic Selk. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly mayhap, but from what we've heard, it seems the convocation of the 14 is sequestered in a nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant wouldn't let us through without writ of permission. So we tried to look at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued. But the clerk there said he couldn't help, since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wondered though, Firemac, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The voice in the lift seemed to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered at the bureaus as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I head back to the Capitol and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray allow me to accompany thee on thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. I think I'd like to speak with more of these ancients. Maybe they know something that could help cure Firemac's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Of course I don't mind. Just lead the way. Oh, are they becoming friends now? Sweet. Then Yustola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in the front of the Capitol. Okay. Sweet. I can cheat the distance. Are we about to have that one scene? I think we are. Administrative clerk. A visitor's writ? Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please. Firemac Summers, please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. We are waiting. 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 Firemac Summers, your application is ready for collection. As your residency was approved by MXL himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of the Secretariat, and the clerk will issue you with a visitor's writ for the capital. Gotta go there now. Oh man, now there's a hunt train going on. Missing out on all the goodies. Secretariat clerk. Next, please. Visiting the capital, are we? Please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. Yep, here's the scene. Here it comes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. As we wait next to our rando friend here. We're so tiny. Ah, pain. Too much weight. Could use some color. May I? And is that the voice I want to give him? You think I are... You think... You, I think, are from the time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Emmett Selk? Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade, here and not here. I know only the name is Hythlodeus. Hythlodeus. I've never actually tried pronouncing this. Hythlodeus. Or Deus. Let's go with Hythlodeus. Hythlodeus. And that is the city of is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. These others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emmett Selk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hythlodeus will realize the truth. For example, we were close friends once, you see? Yet, in spite of my perception, I played the same role as all the rest. A big part meant to bring color and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny, and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus, I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days. What began as isolated incidents soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such scale required an immense source of power. Of those who will still live, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. and from their sacrifice, Zodiark was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet, oh how the star had suffered, so many species lost. The land was blighted, the waters poisoned, even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give of themselves to Zodiark. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives would sprout and grow and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. The convocation decided thus: we would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. Then, when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiark. In return, we would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiark, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. These descendants surrendered their life energies in the creation of Heidelin, an incarnation of their opposing belief, and for the first time in history, our people stood divided. Know you, then, how this conflict ended? I thought you might. It's really bright. Emmett Silk has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiark. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will not have abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, Emmett Silk is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine they have only grown heavier with every passing century. Tis truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. Firemac Summers! Dude, everybody's gone. It seems your turn has come. Pray do not let me keep you. Ah, there was one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Nay, I see no definite form, just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The color of your souls tells the tale. The two of you were one. A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. Ha! This is just the kind of fate I might expect for one such as he. Surely, Emmett Silk has recognized the hint of him in you. Firemac Summers? Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. Your visitor's writ as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. It might be quicker to just teleport here. I think this is actually the last quest, isn't it? Right before the dungeon? Woo! Finally, you were gone so long, I was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you in your bureaucratic adventures? Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing too, Ranjay and I weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and an unofficial entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasts as if not a single army sentry. 'Twould seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, may appear heavily warded, though mightily did we strive, with strength mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that MXL's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speak of which, Ring and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is, these ancients didn't exist beyond Amarots today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, Firemac? What was aught worthy of interest said you did during your efforts to obtain a writ? God dang, I'm losing my stability. The voices. A great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection, and you say all the Asian scheming has been leading to this? Yeah. All this time, but if they were mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with rejoining. I thought we knew their intentions in full, restore the world to its former glory, and in turn empower Zodiark to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet that was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it to words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Asians mean to withdraw on the lives of the source to make their sacrifice to Zodiark. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Asians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving with all our history, all our struggles? Well, what value is there in surviving when all our history and all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. Of course not. That's to say naught of what MXL's plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find them, Firemac, and when we do, make your mark, change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before, and those who came after, by everyone you've ever met. Change things so that even my other self, dying somewhere in that future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would win. Is fighting MXL the only way? He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him, if we even can. And if you push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. This sounds pretty final. This is looking like a pretty final scene right now. The capital. Ba bum bum ba da do do ya. Alize. Shadowbringers, yes, here it is. Haha, this is the final quest. Shadowbringers, yes, yes. Ooh, Alize appears to have made her decision. Do you remember that talk we had atop of the tower in Mordsuk? I'm still on the same mind now as I was then. I don't abandon you, you don't abandon me, and together we make a difference in this fight. There's always hope if we look for it. I saw it again and again as you tore those veils of light from the sky. If we keep taking the next step forward, there's a chance we'll find a way to save you. So no matter how long it takes or how much it hurts, you can count on me to keep on walking. Yeah. Vothri spoke of the disaster we would bring upon our own heads, the ceaseless conflict. Imagine how he would sneer to see what's become of the first, not to mention your perilous predicament. And yet who can deny the fire your deeds have ignited in people's hearts? You achieve what my logic and ideals never could, uniting disparate peoples under the banner of hope and common purpose. Without you, that giant talus would never have raised its head. I have borne witness to many such miracles at your side, and would do so again. This is but another obstacle in the road. So come, let us travel it. Drag me through wonder and danger, as you are wont to do, and I shall endeavor not to slow you down. As well thou knowest, if we are to usher Emet-Selch onto his rest, we must needs bind his ancient soul, and then shatter it with overwhelming force. The former task requireth Arasight, and such have I prepared, upon the Exarch's asking no less, though 'twas ever mine intent to provide said boon. The future whence our noble friend doth hail is a world fallen to Ascian artifice, and he would not see such grim history repeated. In this sense, Emet-Selch's destruction will be the culmination of the Exarch's efforts, a reward for all he hath endured these many years. Yet, even as thou stridest unto the jaws of peril, forget not that his fondest wish, and that of many others besides, is to see thee survive unto the morrow. 'Tis in pursuit of that happiest of outcomes that I do pledge to remain at thy side. Our time in the First has been a never-ending succession of trials, as arduous as our path in the Source ever was. Yet through all our journeys together, through that deep and foreboding wood, you have helped me stay true to my convictions. Thus I would return the favor. Do as your heart decrees, without hesitation or regret, and that is all I will say on the matter. Would you stop targeting Reen? This has put everyone in a solid mood, hasn't it? Honestly, we're not even sure this will even be the end of it. But I suppose we should speak our minds when we have the opportunity. You taught me that much in Amarang. So forgive me this moment of sentiment, Firemac. By dragging me into this sorry mess, you've given me the chance to think and act as I should have, for Reen's sake. Words cannot express how much this has changed my life, or how grateful I am for your support. So I shall express my gratitude through action instead. No matter where you decide to go, I will be there, guarding your back. Well, this one gets a cutscene. When Minfilia entrusted me with her power, she warned me that no matter how strong you become, you can still fall victim to despair. You can still feel powerless. And she was right. After you collapsed on Mount Gold, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Even if I made a mistake, even if I failed to bind the light within you, I was terrified you would die. Even now, you could be moments from turning, and I wouldn't know how to save you. You, Thancred, the others, you've all been here when I needed help. Minfilia surrendered her life to me, her legacy. I should be ready to do the same for you. And I want to, I do. But I'm not good enough. She told me to follow your example, and I've really tried. Then you shouldn't hang your head. I'm not asking, okay. Then you shouldn't hang your head. I shouldn't? Fate can be cruel, but smile better suits a hero. We must all keep looking forward like the heroes who never gave up hope for this world. Let's go with the second one. We must all keep looking forward like the heroes who never gave up hope for this world. I'm not sure who you... Actually, never mind. I think the answer might be different for all of us. No, nothing will come of brooding here in self-pity. I've made my decision. Firemac, I'm going with you. Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the capital. All visitors must present an official writ of permission before admittance will be granted. Here you go. Your documents appear to be in order. You may proceed into the capital, but any guests you may choose to bring with you must remain in your vicinity at all times. Cool.
This really is unacceptable. I gave you very specific instructions.
Emmett Sulk.
My invitation was for an abomination, ripe with the power to bring about the world's annihilation. Not this half-broken thing. Whatever am I to do with you? And I see you insist on keeping the same familiar company. Are you so lost without them?
It is not he who is lost without the familiar. Not content with remaking an entire city, you aim to fill it with the reconstituted souls of the dead.
I may have gotten a little carried away in my attention to detail, added a few unnecessary flourishes. Well, there's no point trying to hide it. Yes. Once the rejoining of worlds is complete, Zodiac will regain his full strength and shatter his prison. Then we shall offer up the Source's remaining inhabitants in sacrifice, that we might resurrect our brethren who died to bring Zodiac into existence. But what was it that you came here to do exactly?
We came for the Exarch, honestly. And we also want to stop you, but Exarch's kind of more important right now.
Well, you can't have him. The wisdom that man guards may open up new worlds of possibilities. He has unlocked the secrets of travel across the rift, and through time as well, it would seem. Quite an accomplishment for one of his incomplete nature. I must explore the limits of his capabilities and harness that power for the Ardor. Even now, after everything, you refuse to see reason. You think it unfair that you are subject to suffering? That your lives will be sacrificed for the Ancients? Look at me! I have lived 1,000 of your lives. I have broken bread with you, Fought with you, grown ill, grown old, sired children, and yes, welcomed death's sweet embrace. For eons have I measured your worth and found you wanting. Too weak and feeble-minded to serve as stewards of any star. Have your recent spats with Vorthri and his sin-eaters taught you nothing? Have you not learned that your ignorance and frailty beget only endless misery? How long do you mean to perpetuate this farce? How much more must I endure your bumbling interference? Let us imagine that the laws of reality are again undone and the world faces true annihilation. Do you honestly believe that half your number would sacrifice themselves to save the other? Of course they wouldn't! And if you had witnessed history unfold as I have, you would reach the same conclusion. You cannot be entrusted with our legacy. I will bring back our brethren, our friends, our loved ones. The world belongs to us, and us alone.
Emmett Selk! We understand, truly, but it makes no difference. The ones you love are in the past, while ours are here in the present. One day, we too will be ashes and dust, but not today. Our time is not yet finished. We share your conviction, and that is why we will not abandon our course.
You think us the same? You think your tattered soul of equal worth to those I lost? Then come. Earn your place. Prove yourselves worthy to inherit this star. Era and the beginning of our great work. A fitting backdrop for your final judgment. I shall wait within, but do not spend too much time on your preparations. There's no telling how much longer the guest of honor will last.